the physical stability is established, and second is the material one. Now, there are many factors which work out material stability automatically. First of them is that once you find your spirit, you just automatically give up your habits. Most of these habits come from your Nabhi, because from Nabhi chakra you get your seeking. And you think when you have a habit, you are seeking your joy. I mean, many people have said, Mother, but I enjoy my glass of whiskey. See, they have said to me many a times. Or I enjoy a little ride here and there. Somebody has said that, Mother, I enjoy some Kensington ladies, you see, sort of thing. But once you start enjoying your spirit, it drops off. All your attention, you see, becomes enlightened, and your priorities changes. Don't enjoy these things that you have been enjoying before, so just don't do it. I mean, I don't have to tell you don't drink, you just don't do. I don't have to tell you that you don't smoke, you just don't do. But there are some very weak people, extremely weak, I mean, very, very weak people. They take time. I know they plod and sort of, you see, they are very slow moving creatures. But not all. I would say quite a small number. And most of the people, they just give up things. Just give up. So you start saving money automatically. Because the money goes to the races, or to the pubs, or to other habits which are useless. You know they are useless. Smoking, drugs, any such foolish things that you are wasting money on. And you start channelizing this money for something better. Something that gives you more joy, more happiness, and of an eternal nature, not a temporary one that you take the drink previous night and in the morning you are finished. You get a drink that never finishes, which you enjoy all the time. You get drunk like that, you see. Because in my own life I've seen it's such a so-called sophisticated elite life. People drink much more, you see, than normal people do. And they ask me, why don't you drink? I said, I'm already drunk. The day I was born, I was so drunk that now if I have to drink more, I'll fall off. So better not ask me. They're quite frightened at this thing. I said, I'm really fully drunk already. So they start looking at me, and they never find me anyway less in spirit as they are. Actually, I'm always little more than they are, so they never force me to do that. But these things drop out automatically. I don't have to tell you that you have to drop out. Because most of the things you have done, because you have been seeking something. You know, there are people, I asked them, why do you do this? They said, we are seeking love. I said, how? How can you find love like this? Or somebody will say that I'm seeking God. There are many people who are taking drugs, I mean genuinely, just for seeking. But when they have found it, what they were seeking, they don't take drugs. But this is one of the side issues. I was just trying to make it a little lighter. But mainly what happens is that actually the principle of Lakshmi, the principle of well-being within you is awakened. And if you listen to one of my tapes where I have described what a Lakshmi is and how she is symbolized, it's a very beautiful picture of Lakshmi that the great seers have put before us. That she is after all a mother. She is a mother. A person who is a rich man has to be a motherly person. But here you find in the whole world, I have seen those who have even little money, their nose goes up like that. And if you see them from down below, they look like wolves, you see, not like mothers. Most surprising. And this Lakshmi, who is a mother, wears a white sari, very elegant, with a gold border. That represents that he doesn't put people into awe by his pomp and show and this and that. She's standing on a lotus. Imagine any human being standing on a lotus. That means that she's so light in her behavior towards others. She's so delicate. She touches people with such delicacy that people don't feel hurt. They are not any way pressurized by the riches of people. But you know, it's just the opposite. The so-called rich, you see. Horrible. If somebody is coming in here, I would like to get out of that door. They try to pressurize because they have money. You see, somebody starts talking big. You just find out 99% he must have won some horse race. This pressurizing is a sign that he is not a Lakshmipati. He has nothing to do with Lakshmi. So he is so gracious. I have seen such people. I have seen some people like that. I have seen one in England. You'll be surprised to know. I've just seen him once. He was a gentleman who was some lord and something. And later on he came to India. He was Viceroy. And there was a gentleman who was very well known to us. He once met him in a train which was delayed or something happened and they had to get down at another station and somehow or other they were put together. And it was so simple and so good and so helpful that this gentleman was taken by him. He said, now better you come to my house because it's not going to be any train, you come to my house. When he went to his house, he was surprised. The house was like a palace. And then he told him who he was. He was amazed. And he even carried his bag with him. Such a simple man. And then when this gentleman told me that such a person is there, then he revisited India. Then he brought him to see me. But he's no more now. He's dead, this gentleman. But he was a very big man in India. And a very big person. But such a simple man. Such a simple person. So that's the significance of well-being is. So when a Sahaja becomes well-being, gets well-being, then he has all these qualities in him. That he doesn't impress on others that he has a property or he has got money and he should pressurize others. If he is really a good Sahaja, he would be the humblest of all. And he would be very generous. Because in her hand, one hand is like this. The left hand is like this, means she's generous. She's giving. All the time she's giving. She's not taking anything, she's giving. And that's how such a person is all the time giving. I've seen people who after Sahaja Yoga receive lot of blessings and are miserly or try to oppress others, lose their properties, lose their money, and really suffer a little bit. Because otherwise there's no way of teaching them. So the generosity flows from a hand. And another hand is like this, which means that she gives protection to people. There have to be some people who are ashritas, are dependents, who just depend, from whom such a person doesn't take any money, they just live. These systems are still in India. Those people who are well off, always have about 2-3 people being supported by them. Is the system still working in India? In many places. I mean, in my father's house, we always remember we had people like that. They were educated and given higher education by my father free, just free. But never did they feel that they were anybody else or treated with same respect and with same dignity as we were treated. But that was a part of life. One had to do it. This is the ashraya, is that there should be some people depending on them. England also have seen people have cats, dogs, things like that. You see, little bit they do spend on cats and dogs. But better to spend on human beings, you know. What am I going to do with cats and dogs? Can I give them realization? It's better to look after human beings than to look after cats and dogs so much, I mean. But I've seen when they are dealing with cats and dogs, they are very happy people. With human beings, they are very unhappy. I don't know why. If you must have seen in the BBC and all that, when they have these advertisements, I've seen in television sometimes, you see a person having a cat, she'll always smile and joke and this. And anybody having children, she looks so miserable. That should not be so. There should be somebody dependent. It's not important to measure every money, ask for 2p I gave you yesterday, will you return 2p to me? It's not, it doesn't behove a Sahaja Yogi to be like that. If it comes to that, all right, give some money, forget about it. It helps you such a lot. It helps you such a lot to be meticulously so observant about how much money you lent. It's better to be more worried about how much you have taken than to be how much you have given. It helps a lot. It's a thing one has to realize in life, how much it helps. I've seen in my own life it has helped so many times. I mean, you really have people then around you. It's a matter of 5 rupees and 10 rupees is so important to some people at a point. And it works wonders. I mean, you can have a human being worth millions by paying sometimes 5 rupees. It can work out that way. So try to be more giving and then you receive more as a Sahaja Yogi. Remember that now you are connected with Lakshmi. The more generous you are, the more you get it. When you are small-minded, you do not receive her blessings. You have to give. You have to give. Once you give, it starts flowing. The stagnation is over. And the flow starts coming in. Otherwise, you are stagnated when your hand is tight-fisted, as you call it. English language has so many good words. Though they are now losing their meaning.